Yep, we're definitely doing that today. Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PS Vita at 2 a.m. coming at you once again with another exciting video. And if you're new here and love everything PlayStation Vita, don't forget to subscribe. And be sure to leave me your thoughts and opinions on this topic down in the comments section. So today's list of games is going to be all about shooting. Games where we shoot, and then afterwards, shoot some more. Just like in the real life for some of us. And the only rules I have for this topic is that it can involve any type of game that has shooting as its main gameplay mechanic, which we all know and love. Alright, let's get this show on the road, starting off with Vasara Collection. Just what in the heck is a Vasara? I'm too lazy to Google that. The PS Vita is certainly no slouch when it comes to shoot-em-ups. And we have a pretty good one here today. Yeah, otherwise it wouldn't be on this list. And what made this shoot-em-up shmup game such a big deal when it was first released on the PS Vita is not only was it, well, a solid title on the platform, but it was also based on an old school shooter that I believe was only available in Japan. So we have a little piece of history to go along with our violence. And I'll do my best not to say that word too much on this video, even though it's probably bound to happen. I mean, just look at what the video is titled. For the very first time, the highly acclaimed Japanese arcade shoot-em-up Vasara from 2000 and Vasara 2 2001 are made available to the whole world via this package titled Vasara Collection. Yep, you get two games in one with this, guys. Science fiction meets history in these arcade classics, which take place in an alternate timeline, feudal Japan to be precise, where technology, advanced weaponry, and equipment are a reality, and heroes use flying motorcycles with amazing firepower and fierce melee weapons to destroy their enemies. Okay, after hearing that, I just can't help myself. Try and stay alive on this frantic game where everyone and everything is out to kill you, which is pretty much all video games, but we'll give them the benefit of the doubt, I guess. And what I especially love about this game is that not only can you shoot all of your enemies, but you also have a physical close-range melee attack too, which does a little bit more damage, but it's a little bit more risk versus reward type of situation. Either way, if you have a trigger-happy trigger finger, then Vasara Collection is beautiful. Well, it's still beautiful if you don't, but it's especially beautiful if you do. Whoa, did we ever switch themes fast here, and in more ways than one too. This is Galgun Double Piece. The first game was a over-the-head vertical shmup, and now we're going to a rail shooter. And it features this. Yeah. Now you guys get where I'm coming from. Yeah, and this meets a really nice niche on the PS Vita because we don't have a lot of games that are rail shooters for it. And this one is, it's a little bit different. I mean, the description even says so. A rail shooter that is a tad different, replacing bullets with pheromone shots. Yeah, you heard that right. And enemies with giddy, love-obsessed schoolgirls. Every love letter and advance kiss drains your energy. Repel them while upgrading your power-ups and take part in outrageously lewd minigames to find your true love. I mean, that's probably the way most of us find our true loves, by playing lewd minigames. Heck, I ain't complaining. Probably the most bizarre rail shooter you'll ever play, or ever will play. Switching themes on the fly here again because we're just cool that way. It's Resistance Burning Sky. Or is that skies, meaning plural? Wait, now that I think about it, can technically more than one sky exist? Getting kind of philosophical here. Now, the reason why I have chosen this game and not others such as Killzone is that I feel like this title does get overlooked compared to that franchise, especially on the Vita. This title has a great story which, in my opinion, was one of the best features about the game, had fun gameplay mechanics, and while it's not very long, I would say it's going to take you an average of 6 to 8 hours to beat, depending of course on which difficulty you choose. You do get a lot of replay here, especially if you include the gun upgrades, which will keep you busy for a long time even after you have beaten the game. Not to mention, this title did include a nice online mode, which, not the best, I will admit. I sometimes would get connection issues, but it still was fun to play with others. The controls were really great, but the only thing that I would say was a negative for this game is that the enemy AI could at times be kind of on the dumb side. They would just kind of stand around and wait for you to shoot them. Basically, it's what would happen if they made me a video game character. I wouldn't stand a chance. Not too much of a major issue, but I figured it was worth mentioning. And I feel back in the day, a lot of reviewers just didn't give this game a chance, comparing it more up to the higher tier games such as Killzone. But hey, it's a first-person shooter on the Vita, and we don't have a lot of those. And it's definitely fun for what it is. I still pop it in my Vita from time to time. Not gonna lie here, when I first heard about this game called Fast Striker, I immediately thought that maybe it was a soccer game, or if you're in Europe, a football game. Needless to say, much to my surprise, it was neither. It was another shmup, and would you look at that, we got another vertical shmup. Suffice to say, I usually prefer horizontal, but beggars can be choosers. These are the games that were just on my mind at the moment. Fast Striker is a 2D vertical shoot-'em-up, blast through 6 action-packed stages, and encounter huge boss battles, 4 game modes, an elaborate scoring system, and adjustable screen and control settings will bring back classic arcade memories. And one of the standout things for this game, at least in my opinion, was the huge bosses you get to fight. Considering it's a pixelated game, you wouldn't expect them to be quite as epic as they are, but they are. And I love that they give you 4 difficulty settings here: Novice, Original, Maniac, and Omake. Bet you can't guess what difficulty I chose. Maybe it's better if you don't answer that. And the game runs ultra smooth on the Vita. Mwah, I love it. So with solid controls, fun bosses, and a plethora of content, this is one that shooting fans should definitely take a look at. Just remember, it's not a soccer game. Oh hey, now would you look at that? Things aren't vertical anymore, they're, I guess we're going for an isometric view now? Maybe behind the shoulder, even though there is no shoulder to be behind? This is TXK regardless. And wouldn't you know, it's a Tempest clone. And I'll just say this, it's a really good one. So if you're a fan of Tempest, you'll feel right at home here. Basically in this game, you have to move your, thing around wireframe, shooting other wireframe bad guys, in this stylistic, guess you can even go as far to say a music rhythm-like shooter, and it even gives you the ability to jump during certain parts of the game, which really comes in handy if the baddies ever make it to your side of the wireframe. It's kinda weird, but hey, we love weird on this channel. And the game is even generous enough to give you the option between an analog stick or a D-pad, at least as far as the controls go. D-pad is my personal favorite for this game, just saying. So if you've always dreamed about being a wireframe, shooting other wireframe things, well, it may just come down to you having issues. At least that's what my psychiatrist tells me, but still, I think you'll like this game, especially if you love Tempest, but I guess that goes without saying. And thus our journey comes to its climax. In other words, the video is over. So guys, tell me, what did you think about these games? Have you played some of them? Have you played all of them? Have you played none of them maybe? Could it be that this is the first time you were hearing about some of these titles? I'd love to know down in the comments section. Do you fantasize about wireframes? Tell me that too. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time. This video has been brought to you in part by all of these wonderfully generous people who help make this content possible, including Maquise Blob, B Mystery, Matt Fox, Reiko Star, Neo Arashi, Milk-sama, Lucian Ryu Cat, Robert Johnson, Zacrito, Frayden, Joseph Razmick, Shin Snake, Alan Iwazuk, Gutter Drums, Himdall Imbert, Wendy K, David Ray, Phantom XRS, Saul Ramirez, Kyle Brooks, JR, E-Rock, Pure Sterner, Adam Thury, Sculpture Tugel TCG, BMF, Clayton Malarkey, Joshua Williams, Jared Haddo, Kevin Enright, Heston Joseph, Aaron Swanson, Rodrigo Vera, Hero Acer, Adam Sondi, PS Vita S, Richard Cruz, Lori Sweeney, Jelly, H-Hitter, Larry Anderson, Robert Sylvester, Michael O'Connor, Ricardo Martinez, Colossus, Crazy Cat, Jamie, Hector Gonzalez, Kayonko, Burrs and Mystery, Juan M. Hermosillo, Eric DeWitt, Tasha Monty, Mazgus, Matt Hargett, Smug Wolf, Sakib Alam, 1488 Dental, Azumara, Nintendo Switch at 2 AM, Donut Valley, Romp King, and Dr. Super Artie. If you would be interested in supporting the channel and seeing your name on this end screen here, or if you wish to remain anonymous, that can be provided too, then make sure to check the links down in the description below. I have numerous ways for you to do this down there. Can't support in this manner? Don't worry about it. Likes and shares can help equally as much. Dreaming about being a wired frame, shooting other wireframes. I'm sure somebody out there has to have that kind of fantasy.